It is not often that I go live on YouTube. Let's see how this works here. Oh, look at this. Oh, hello everybody. Today I thought of something cool to do with you guys. So, I ended up going to the thrift shop and I got this random bag of goodies. So, this bag was full and it was like $2. $2, and we're gonna open it up and we're gonna do something with all the things inside. So, for $2, we got a bunch of artwork stuff. So, things like this are very common in thrift shops, and it's very common to be finding something like this at stores like secondhand stores and Goodwills and stuff like that. So, is it worth buying stuff like this? Sorry about that. There's something on my throat. So, I believe so. I believe that doing something like this is actually there's a piece of paper. But it's something interesting and something fun that you can do to have random art supplies in your house. So let's see what we got here and let's draw stuff with it. So let's see. The first thing that we get is a Ticonderoga 2HB black pencil. These pencils are actually really good for animation. A lot of people in the animation industry love these for hand-drawn animation. So, yay, we got a little score. I got this really cheap pencil sharpener. I don't really necessarily always use pencils. As you guys know, I always use pen for the most part. Mostly because I hate having to stop and do this. But, there you go. Nice and sharpened. Let's see, let's move this stuff out of the way. Let's make a little bowl out of this. That was the purpose of that. As an artist, you get really creative at doing things to keep your other things clean. So with access to paper, you can do like trash cans and stuff like that really easy with origami and like pressure points. There you go. Okay, no more thingies on anything. So what can you do with a pencil? Ooh, well, a pencil is actually relatively, common, right? Like a pencil can be used in a bunch of different ways. Pencils in general are really good for sketching. They're really good for shadows. And the fact that you can actually use these and smudge them a little bit gives you the ability to create a lot of tones really quickly. As you get better at using pencils, you can get to the point of almost realism by just understanding some very basic concepts about depth. Between understanding the concept of contrast, which will give you the realism that you guys want, right? To being able to do portraiture, cartooning, everything in between as well. So the ability to draw in pencil is something that you should not overvalue. And it's something that you should master before you try to do things in just pen or anything like that. Because it's easier to make a correction in pencil. When you have something as unforgiving as pen, it's something that it's gonna kick you in the butt when you finish something really cool and you can't make any corrections to it. So, really cool. And it comes with a really nice black eraser. There you go. Awesome. So I believe that our Ticonderoga pencil is actually really cool. Awesome. So now let's set that one aside. Yay, we got a cool art supply. Let's dig into the box again. Bah. $1 or $2 thrift store. Not looking. What do we get? Okay, hold on, what is this? This one is a Pen Gear colored pencil. I'm guessing it's just a colored pencil. So let's see what we can do with colored pencils. Colored pencils are going to be very similar to just normal graphite, obviously with just color. So let's see if we can play around with this a little bit more and show you guys how you guys can get some cool stuff out of this. All right, let's move this out of the way. Zoom in. All right, so a basic colored pencil, and this is what it is. It's nothing special. I don't see any branding on it or anything, so I just assume it's just a basic run-of-the-mill colored pencils. If you get these at the dollar store or Walmart or whatever, this is essentially what you're expected to get. When you are drawing colored pencil, essentially it's the same as drawing a normal pencil, it's just colored. Very few colored pencils have a very different texture or differentiation than like an HB pencil that we just drew with. So, oh, if you guys don't know the difference between pencil differentiations, like because I know a lot of people don't. So there is a grading from hard to soft, so hard over here, soft over here, that pencils are scaled in. So on one side is the B side, which is soft, right? That's the soft measurement for pencils. And H is for hard. Well, I don't know if it's for hard, but that stands for the hard ones. So when you have a pencil that says, for example, 2H, that means that it's 2 points up from the middle, which would be HB, which is your standard pencil. So 2H would be on the harder side of leads. And HB, let's say like an 8B, would be a really soft one that would be more like charcoal. So that is essentially how you have the measurement of art tools for pencils. In case you guys are wondering. In case you guys ever wonder. Yeah, the beauty of pencil is that you can have a very, very light touch with it and be able to get all your landmarks that you need for your sketches without necessarily showing that you overworked it or anything of the sort. It gives you a lot of gradients, so it gives you the ability to draw a ton of tones with a single pencil. So even just a normal, simple colored pencil is a really cool tool to have and on handy if you ever want to add a little bit of splash of color or anything to your drawings. I normally draw a lot with pen, so I'm normally drawing with really bold black lines. In order to enhance those black lines, I normally use a highlighter, but a colored pencil does the same thing. Adding a little bit of color on the outside makes that little simple sketch now look like something really cool. And if I were to go ahead and add any sort of semblance of detail, it would just make it look like a little piece of art, even though it's still just a circle. And that's the power of adding a little tiny elemental contrast of color. So let's continue. Let's go. We're not gonna do like a repeat. If they have like a bunch of colored pencils, I will just not do the same colored pencil over and over. But let's see. Okay. Next thing in our thrift shop find. What else did we find in our thrift shop find? I see something cool. Oh, look at this. Okay, cool. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Makeup brushes. Makeup brushes are so fun. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm a little excited here. Hold on. I actually use this in my sketchbook. I want to play around with something. So we found this makeup brush, and all we need now is some watercolor. So let me find some watercolor somewhere. There's some watercolor right there. Okay, cool. So now we need water. Water moose. Where are you? I found, now I have a water moose. So now I can call forth water moose whenever I need water. Water moose, come forth. All right, so water moose will stay there for a little bit as he is needed. And we have our little dab of watercolor. And then we can use a watercolor brush or our makeup brushes for really cool watercolor effects. So if you ever get these at like thrift shops and stuff, they're so good. They're so good at laying down like super on like awesome textures and stuff. Oh, this is not gonna be a very good watercolor color to use this with though. It's because it's really light. Let me see if I can get a. Let me see if I can find a darker one. Hold on. There has to be a darker color that I run here. All right. Let's go into our trusty little art set. And let's choose something that we can use texture with. So let's do like a green, like a deeper green. Let's do this green. Okay, cool. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Where's a panda? I need to see a panda. Where's the panda? Okay, there's a panda right there. We're gonna add some trees and stuff. Oh, this one's not holding water very well. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, there we go. I just put too much. There you go. But there's trees over here. I drew trees already. Okay, there you go. Oh, I love it. I know if you guys can't really see it too much, but it leaves like a little speckled like texture to it. There's like little speckles that it leaves along. Right now it's too pooled with water, I think. Let me see. I think I put too much water in that. Not enough color. Okay. See how it leaves a little bit of speckliness? It's really cool to me. So I can use that for plants. I can use that for shadows. I can use that for textures, for like, I don't know, reptiles. Overall, I just see them as like extra really cool brushes that I always wish that I could use for my ex-girlfriends. So whenever I see a makeup brush and anything like that I get, it's really cool. So see how you get like that speckly texture? That's really cool. No, but this one wasn't a thrift shop find. This was one this one wasn't like a $2 bag that we found, right? Like we found a $2 bag of utensils. So we're seeing what we can do with the stuff that we find inside. So it's not a matter of, we didn't spend a lot of money on it at all. Okay, so now we clean it up. We empty it of water really fast. And then, just like new. Awesome, next thing. More colored pencil, same brand. On to the next thing. Ooh, we have another pencil. I'm gonna test you guys on that one. This one's a different brand, but it's just a brown. And another colored pencil. Let me just sift. Empty pen. Ooh, pens. Ew, gross. Trash. This one's dry. That's a pencil, that's a pen, that's a
pencil. That's a dead pen and more pencils. Those are good. That's bad. Let's just zip through all that shit really quick. Okay, this was a nice little find though. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of stuff in here that could actually be useful for me, but it has a lot of normal pencils that I can actually use with my sketch kits that I give out to people. So, let's see. Ooh, cool pen. Clicky pen. Oh, no clicky pen because the clicky part is gone. Darn it. All right, so overall, our haul includes this. A bunch of colored pencils. Some pens that will be used because they're my favorite brands. Bic. Ooh, what is this? Bic Evolution. Oh, that's interesting. I'll test that out. Normal pencil, normal pencil, normal pencil. That pen. Colored pencil, normal pencil, pen. Does that one work? Nope. Nope. All the pens are dead. What the fuck? So the ones I like. Just basic stuff. Basic pen. Bic. Bic. Pencil, 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 pencils, pencils, colored pencils. Tons of colored pencils. I really like this pink one, so I'm going to set that one aside. And I like this really cute blue one. So other than that, I'm not really gonna plug around with colored pencils because I don't really like them. So I'll put together like a little sketch kit for somebody with that, and then I'll give it away. All right, so let's see. These are the cool things that we ended up getting alongside with this and our Ticonderoga pencil. This one is really nice because it lays down your lines really, 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 really dark, even though it's only in 2 HP. Actually, no, I think it's just a number 2. It's just an HP. Yeah, it's not even a hard pencil or a soft one, but it lays down blacks really good. I'm gonna test that out against this guy that is exactly the same. It's an HB as well. Yeah, look at that difference. And that's the same hardness. So that's from Bic, is the light one. And like Ticonderoga, the reason why people use them is because it lays down a really, really dark line. So that is why that one's better. So this one goes in the hole. And then we have this little colored pencil thingy that looks kind of promising. Let's see what it is. Dude, where did I put that pencil sharpener? I have not moved. There you go. I found it. All right, let's go. Let's sharpen it with our little pinky eraser. Okay. Ooh, that one got really sharp really quick. All right, let's move that aside. And now we have a really interesting pencil. It doesn't say what it is. It just says Evolution. So let's see what it does. Let's try to color one of these guys in. All right, so off the bat, it feels a little waxy. So it feels a little bit like the old school coal erase pencils. So I have a feeling they just rebranded those to have this Evolution trademark. Because it feels exactly like a coal erase pencil. Which were, oh shit, this is big though. Oh, that's dope. So, okay, before, it used to just be, what's the other brand? What's the brand that does it? Pantone? Not Pantone. Whatever. Like, it's one of those, those, like, big marker places. Anyways. Well, apparently Bic makes a really cool sketching pencil. Dope. Check this out. So the reason that a lot of people used to use blue is because it lays down really nicely, right? So it laid down really, 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 really nicely, and waxy uh, pencils like this allow you to actually build up your lines over your sketch. So it's very, very, very easy to take your drawing from line work to shading really quickly. I personally love these for life drawing classes, like going to the zoo and drawing people, and like when they're like dressed up and, you know, doing all your life drawing studies, like your spheres and all that stuff is really easy with pencils like this. So these little evolution ones are actually kind of nice. So that was a nice find. And they work really, really well when you combine them with ballpoint pen. Let's see if this ballpoint pen works. Boo, this one doesn't work. Is it dead? Yeah, it's dead. Let's see, this one works. There you go, that one works. So when you combine colored pencils that are a little waxy with ballpoint pen, they make it really easy to maneuver, and you can use that as a base layer for your sketches. And it makes it super cool to later on make it into a black and white sketch in Procreate or whatever, and you have perfect tones that are normally a little bit softer than just black and white, super heavy contrasted lines. It also gives you a tone. If you like, I used to like drawing with blue pen a lot. Like this was the combination that I used to use, blue pen and blue highlighter. So I started my whole sketching career on social media with highlighters and blue pen, and that's how I got a little bit of recognition. And then after that, that's, well, you see me here. Ta-da! I'm not sure, some pimples are just normal. Okay, yeah, but these are actually interesting. I would actually sketch with this. Let's see how they erase though. That's the real trick though. So now that we have that, let's see if they actually erase. Yeah, that's dude, that's good. That's a good. Yeah, I like that. I like that because look, it doesn't smudge very much whenever you're like rubbing over it, so your hand is not going to destroy your drawing, which is something that we all suffer from. Thanks for all you do. Amazing lessons with an amazing teacher. Oh man, you're sweet. So what I'm gonna start doing is that since I do all this on TikTok, right? Most of the time I just do all this stuff on TikTok. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start doing my evening streams or whatever extra streams I do in the day. I'm gonna do them on YouTube. So I'm going to build my audience here in the afternoons and the evenings. So I don't mind if there isn't that many people or anything, you know. But I want to start building an audience both on YouTube and on TikTok. So I want to get to that 100,000 subscriber like I want to get that plaque. That plaque is like the bane of my existence because I need to justify to myself that it has been worth it. So yeah, so that's gonna be the goal for the next coming months. Whenever I get a chance to jump on here, I'm gonna jump on here with some random streams, but then in the morning I'm just gonna do them over on TikTok. So, all right. The next one up is going to be another colored pencil with another one of my favorite colors, which is pink. I absolutely love the color pink because it goes really good with when you're drawing faces. Because when you're drawing a person's face, let me show you guys what I mean by that.
Let's say we take one of these guys, any of these guys. If I wanted to make this character look a little bit cooler, the first thing I would do is I would isolate him from the rest of the things by adding color to the outside of my character. By doing this, I'm isolating that drawing by creating a contrast and creating a focal point. So that's the first thing that I can do if I want to isolate and create this character to be a focus of my page. So yay, there you go. I have isolated him, and now he is a main focus in my page. Even if I zoom out, that is the first thing you're gonna look at. Well, maybe these guys too, but you get the idea. If you like look at this, the first thing you're gonna look at is the thing with color. So that is essentially what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be calling information and focal awareness to a very specific part. So in this case, it's the face, and I want all the focus to be right here. So most of the shadows that I'm going to add are going to be to the nose and to the inside of my nose bridge. And by adding those shadows like that, I can create very fun, dynamic highlighting in my face without doing much to a drawing. Let's try it on this guy. By adding a little bit of color to the nose and a little bit to the inside of the nose bridge, immediately the character looks a lot more dynamic. It looks like he's actually doing something. And it's mostly because you are really just replicating lighting, hitting it from the top, right? That's all you're doing. So you're taking lighting, putting it up here, and then you're just casting the shadows that your brow muscle would cast. And you are drawing the shadows that would come from that hitting. And that is how you get noses like that. And that is the quickest way to do that little quick sketching with the Disney finish to them. All right, let's color something else with this little pink. Oh my God, yes, let's color this guy. He's so cute, he's so squishy. He's just chilling with his boba. So colored pencils are fun. Normally, for me, I don't tend to use them because I have to keep sharpening them, right? Like the whole concept of me having to take an extra step whenever I'm really lazy kind of makes me not want to do it. It's so weird. It's so weird, but I want my tools to work for me. I don't want to work for my tools. So that is going to mostly be the reason that I chose highlighters over this, because when a highlighter dies, you can use it like textures at the end, and then you just ta-da, retire them in to oblivion. But the beauty of colored pencils is that you can use them, and you can use them in a lot more controlled fashion. I'm just a stubborn old man, and I refuse. I refuse to not necessarily learn something new because I know how to use them perfectly well. It's more like I like to challenge myself and make life hard for myself, and that's why I also started drawing in pen, because drawing in pencil I found myself being too indecisive, and indecision leads to taking longer on projects, leads to getting paid less for more time that you spent on them and stuff like that. So I told myself I was going to get better at that. So I told myself I was going to draw with pen. And now I draw strictly in pen, and I find it really
Ooh, simple hair tricks is to leave little zigzaggies like this. Just little zigzaggies in between with white, and it looks like highlights coming from that direction. It's gonna mean like the sun is hitting from this direction. By the way, this is how I want you guys to use my art block books, by the way. This is the purpose of the art block books, like the ones that I have for sale. This is the purpose of them. So you guys can practice doing all these exercises without needing to draw all that stuff necessarily. Because you have so many reference images already. We get really sharp, a sharpener. It feels so. Oh man, I don't know. I just don't see. I like my artwork to be consistent, and if your pencil is just not sharpened the right way, like it's just throws you off a little bit, and then I don't know, man. Like I've gotten so used to just drawing in pen. But it does feel kind of good to approach the drawing not like a pencil sketch, but with a like a pen would, but with a pencil. That's interesting. So treat it like you can't erase, and then approach it in that way. That'd be interesting. There's another little like fun tip that I want to teach you guys at some point. It's the law of contrasts. Like if you guys learn how to contrast your colors and your shapes, I know it's a super broad term, but it becomes so much easier to understand how to color things, how to draw like different characters, how to balance shapes. Like it becomes so much easier to do all that stuff when you understand a couple concepts. And I wanna learn how to teach that, but it's taking a little longer than I thought to be able to conceptualize it. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually use this pink a lot because this pink is like the exact tone that I really like. And it's just a super cheap, like, it was from a super cheap bag of materials that we found at a thrift shop. So now I have a new cool pencil that is gonna essentially, this one pencil will last me the entirety of this sketchbook, right? This one pencil will last the entirety of the sketchbook, and beyond that probably, because they just last a long time. Like they pencils like this just last a long time. That's why you can find them at thrift shops, and people just end up just throwing away half of them because they don't really use them beyond a certain point, if they even use them at all. So colored pencils and stuff like that are some of the biggest finds you guys can find at thrift shops. So if you guys see some, hey, enjoy it. Have a blast with them. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with this because it's not holding water the way it needs to. So this might turn into Milky's like weapon of choice. What do you guys think? I'll give him a little backpack with it, so he's like Commander Milky with his weapon. I can have him on the side, like charging, like charge. So that might become like Milky's weapon of choice. All right, so now we have one more pencil to try out, and this one. Um, I normally don't like drawing in pencil on my sketchbooks because it just doesn't scan well. So we're gonna draw on our little trusty post-it pad. Let's see. So these pencils, they lay down a little bit lighter. This one is writing really soft. It's an HB too. Oh, this is from the same brand as these. I thought it was a special pencil for some reason. I don't think it's anything special. I think that's just a normal like number 2 pencil. But number 2 pencils are really cool too. The only problem with number 2 pencils is that whenever you're drawing over your drawing with your hand, this tends to happen, right? Oh no. Oh no. And then you end up with these smudges. Well, if that happens, use that as a mid-tone. Just go all out. Let it be part of it, and then use your eraser to practice where your highlights should be. If you practice enough of these exercises, you're going to get really good at drawing things like shadows and comics and all that sort of stuff. So if the next time that your drawing gets messed up, it's not messed up, it's just gonna give you an exercise to work on. And little by little, you'll just get better at seeing the different facets of the face. And you'll be able to draw heads a little bit easier. But I personally do not like pencils very much. Like, I think they are messy. I think that you have to like do too much to preserve it. And if I wanted to add any sort of color to this, it would be it's not necessarily a pain in the butt because it can just be colored pencil and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. The fear of it smudging or something again, it's like so annoying to me. Right? So I prefer to draw my things in pen. We found a makeup brush and a new pencil he really liked. Drawing today, a beholder is like Forum Dungeons. Ooh, a beholder is what, like one of those like big, like monsters, right, with the eyeball. And what, they were like fighting your crew of adventurers. Some cool wings. Just came out of the woods, and then you see a beholder right waiting for you, trying to ambush you and eat you alive. And it's gonna ask you to go look for my Visine. That is your journey now, adventurer. Go forth and venture for the Visine. I don't know exactly what a beholder looks like. I have a feeling it's like this, but I'm not completely certain. See, just a little bit of color, a little tiny bit of color can help you dictate so much of a scene. So much. A little bit of contrast, a tiny bit of contrast can add so much flow to an actual scene. right? And if I start directing everything towards this, let's say that I have like an environment in the back, right? And like a city and landscapes and a castle and all that crap. If it was like a magical scene, everything has to lead back to this. So I have to make sure that all these lines point up towards this guy so that the scene keeps on rotating within this space, regardless of what I draw on this, right? Just got to make sure that the clouds and everything else is pointing towards this direction. And then you have an entire scene real quick. They need glasses. Oh, so it needs a monocle? Oh, but then he can't have a monocle without a top hat. Duh. And of course he needs his fake mustache. There you go. And his cup of tea. Well, excuse me, kind sirs. Would you mind going on an adventure for me? So yeah, so as you guys can see, if you guys find, in this case, we found every single one of these colored pencils can be another one of these. It just happens to be that pink and blue are my favorite, but we also got a red, we also got a teal, we got a bunch of pencils. Uh, if you allow yourself to get past the notion that they're not name brand colors and that maybe, oh no, like it's not the same quality I'm used to. When you get past that stupid nonsense, you will realize that you probably have such like a treasure trove of things that you guys have to draw and create with, that you probably could like supply that to like a couple schools and they would be so thankful for you guys if you guys don't use it, you know. Your local school teachers would die happy if you guys gave them all the art supplies you guys don't use. So in this little tiny treasure trove of stuff, we got all these pencils. This one's kind of like broken. Let's throw that away. All right, so we got a bunch of pencils. All right, so these will be used for drafting and whatever. I really like my Ticonderoga pencil because that's just one that I used to use in animation school. So that one was, alone is worth the $2. And the rest of them will just be household pencils that I use whenever I need a pencil. Cool. We got 3 pens, big pens. I like blue big pens. They're some of my favorite sketching tools, so fantastic. That's awesome. Yay. And then we have a bunch of colors. So we ended up with 2 of my favorites, which are baby blue and a pink, which awesome. I don't have to go buy any highlighters or anything for the meantime because these will last me for a long time. And then if I need any other color for, I don't know, if I ever decide that I want to sketch or do any other color highlights, a bunch of other colors here to choose from. So I don't have to use watercolors if I don't want to anymore for a while. But again, it's just going to be my choice of what I need to do with that color. If I need more control, colored pencils are the way to go. If you want a mixture of colored pencils and watercolors, there are these things called watercolor pencils. And then watercolor pencils work like this. I showed you guys how watercolors work, and I've shown you guys how colored pencils work, but this is how watercolor brush or watercolor pencils work. Let's see, let's find the page we haven't used color on. Okay, there you go. Let's draw on this side. So if you want to use watercolor pencils, it's going to be really interesting for you to do them in the first place because you're going to realize that they lay down like really, really cool, really nice, really soft colored pencils. And you can use them like this just fine, right? You can use them like a little colored pencil, just fine. But the real beauty of these is that when you get everything a little bit wet, they work very similar to that of a watercolor. So they start blending and shifting in a very slight pattern. So it's it's like if you could take colored pencils and blend them even nicer. So you have a little bit more control over what you can do. The other thing that you can do is get a surface wet first. Wait for it to sit there for a little bit. Just get it a little bit damp. Just get all this area nice and damp. And then when you go in with your colored pencil, you get a different effect. It lays even smoother than it did before. It almost feels like a marker. It's like a marker that you can literally blend with your fingers super, super easy. It almost turns like a charcoal type of effect. So it's really kind of cool to learn how to use these materials to your advantage. I like combining your techniques with those of Sean Galloway. Your methods with his shape language is immense. Ooh, interesting. So I've sketched with Sean before with cheeks. We used to go to like I know he probably has no retention of this, but for a while we used to all go to Borders, like the drawing, the bookstore, and we used to just draw there for hours together. Right? Like it's super funny how you see the people that you used to draw with succeed and grow and like take their skill because I knew him before he got in Spider-Man and stuff like that. We're talking about like 2004, right? We're talking about like back in the day, like 20 years ago. So it's just really fun to see him at conventions and see him grow, and it's just nice to see a person succeed. You know, it's so nice sometimes to just see people actually make it. So as you can see, you can use them as normal colored pencils, and they work really nice because they work like a really soft colored pencil and they lay down color super solid. But you can also use them as watercolors by adding a tiny bit of water. And you can expand them like watercolors, just listen. As a matter of fact, if you're really desperate to be able to take some watercolors with you, what you can do is you can do little swatches by just putting a ton of this watercolor pencil on a single little tiny part, and you can use that to draw for a while too. Like you can take that color and pigment and pick it up and use it for sketching for an evening, 2 evenings, 3 evenings. So it's just about layering it up. Let me show you guys what I mean. So if you have, I wouldn't use this color. I would probably use just a black and white colored pencil, like a pen, just so you know exactly what color you're trying to get. But in this case, I'm just gonna do it on this because I have that. If you want to take like a drive-through watercolor, or if you have these type of pencils, all you gotta do is just do this. Just layer that wax on, or that colored pencil right there on it. And then grab one of these guys. Try not to smear it too much. And you have access to watercolors for a while. So let's say you want several colors to take with you, just take a bunch of those pencils, make little tabbies, and then just draw over them over and over and over. And then when you go in to use your watercolor and you have water on it, now you can use that to color. And it actually works really nice. See what I mean? So now I have a portable watercolor set on a Post-it. So I just, if I want to take this to go, I can literally just go, let me take my watercolor set to go. Boom. Oh, now I have my own little personal watercolor set. Ta-da. Oh, let me paint something. And all of it, I can, like, I know this is gonna sound crude, but you can even spit on this and actually work, you know? And be like, okay, I want some yellow. Ooh. And you can put the whole spectrum of colors here if you want, but that little tiny swab will last you for 3 or 4 pages of sketchbooking. Just dropping everything. That is one of the coolest things that you guys can do. Yay! I review RODGON streams a lot, and his techniques have really helped me. Yes! Awesome. So imagine these, if you get like a watercolor set for cheap, right? If you get one of these little watercolor pencil sets, imagine that this is like as many portable watercolor sets as you guys can possibly ask for. That is what these do, right? Like if you like watercolors, this is what that does. It gives you unlimited portable watercolor sets because one of these will not run out for a long time. I've had this for a long time and I've used these for portable sets like this all the time. So as you guys can see, they're barely even worn down. Like I lost one of them. I don't know which color I lost. I think I lost like a pink. But anyways, that is a little tip that I can give you guys that will be nice for you to understand, you know, when you get down to actually wanting to add color to your designs. Another really cheap art tool that I like to use are Crayola markers. Crayola markers are really, really good, especially if you get like the earth tones or the color tones, because look at how cool that works with just our basic sketches. Do the same thing, just like we did with the watercolor, we can add the color to the outside. And even when they're really nice and dry like this, because this one's getting to the point where it's just completely dry, you can use that for your color for your noses, to add blush, right? And just a little tiny hint of it. Same thing for the eyelids, just to break up that white from the rest of it without adding too much detail. And I love using this for cheekbones and for chins. Like that is literally the beauty color for me for those parts, right? Because it gives me access to be able to add a little tiny tinge of color, especially when they're nice and dry like this. It's like, oh, it gives me that really nice, satisfying blend of uh, color and softness that normally only gets achieved with like a blend tool. So that's why I love dry markers in general. You can even sketch with them at first and then go in with your pen. Where's my pen? Do I not have a pen next to me? I don't. Here it is. So once you sketch with those, you can just go over them. Yeah. You can sketch with one. You can sketch with line work. You can sketch with color. You can sketch with anything. What is your thoughts on drawing fingers? No, we talked about that earlier today. That is going to be part of your overlapping shapes. And it comes down to understanding the concept of two oblongs and how those interact with each other. Right? If you understand how two parts, two circles interact with each other like this, you don't have, you're not going to have a problem drawing fingers because all these things are beanbags. You don't have to guess or draw something like a finger. You can draw a finger by just learning basic concepts like 2 cylinders or 3 cylinders. Connecting. 1, 2, 3. Connect the edges. Choose your overlapping shapes. Ta-da! Now fingers should be a lot easier for you. Three bones. You start small. You start simple. Right? You start with 2, and then you split the top one in half. That is literally how you figure out fingers. You start off with 2 equal sized wedges, and then when you get ready to learn a deeper level, you just divide the top one. And now you have fingers that are perfectly spaced out. That is how you measure fingers. He missed a keyboard. No, I'm answering your question. Just don't listen. All right, so let's see. All right, that's gonna be it for our little haul of art supplies today. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I wanted to jump on here for about an hour to see what it would be like to have people over on YouTube. Thank you so much for paying attention to me. Officer Milky, do you want to say something? You want to say bye or anything? Or are you just going to play around with your new sword? Huh? Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. He really appreciates every single person that does, though. So thank you so much. And if you guys learned anything, please share some of his stuff so he can get known by people. Okay? Officer Milky signing out. All right. Okay, ADHD brain. Have a good one. Take care. Here a little bit more often as a stream to YouTube, so you guys get a little treat by yourselves as well. And let's join me over on TikTok in the mornings if you guys want to join us for an early lesson as well. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.